Okay. Like I put in the chat, guys, 10 a.m. news today, so we will be careful until then, right? 10 a.m. is job openings. Who knows what sort of impact that will have on the market? Could be very high impact, but it could also be low key, low key not that much impact. But we'll see either way, right? So yeah, we'll see. Doesn't matter that much. So yeah, let's wait. Okay, so Let's take a look at what's happening here. 15-minute, kind of closing bearish. Well, not closing, but kind of going bearish, right? So we'll wait and see what happens there. If we can, like, if we want to continue bearish, or if we will go higher from here at some point. Like I said, guys, there's news at 10 a.m., right? I don't necessarily want to be in a trade during news. Here's the thing, right? There's going to be a lot of people who tell you trading during news is fine. For me personally, I just don't like to be in a trade during news because, yes, potentially you could predict where news will bring the market. However, it's an unnecessary risk to take, right? A trade during news definitely takes the setup probability for me from, let's say, an A plus down to maybe like a B trade or something, right? And I don't want that because there is simply no reason to take that risk. There is an abundance of opportunity in the market every single month. Why would I take a trade that's not perfect? So let's see what's up here. I do want to take a look at the weekly really quickly as well, because yeah, the weekly is uncertain as hell. Like, this weekly candle could close bearish, could close bullish, who knows, right? Anything that I would say now would be a prediction, like a full-on prediction about this. For the daily, we could go for the previous daily high, which is why I marked it out as well. The previous daily low is quite far. Not saying that we can't go there. I want to quickly check, is there any SMT? No. I also bought some more challenge accounts with futures firms, with some futures prop firms, with Apex. I believe, yeah, I bought a couple 50Ks there. I want to trade one of them at least normally, but I think one of them I will just full send on Friday NFP. Just full send it. Either it passes it or it doesn't pass it. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. So that is fully gambling, right? Essentially, but you know, who says that can't be fun? So on Friday potentially we'll just full port it, and either the challenge is passed instantly or it's not. We'll see then, right? We'll do that because, okay, here's the thing, right? This is something that a lot of people kind of misunderstand sometimes. When going for challenges, funding challenges, it is in no way the same as trading either a live account or a personal account. Because in a challenge, you have no monetary gain from anything that you do, right? So essentially what you want to do is you want to pass it quickly, because otherwise it is a time waste. Not if you're new. If you're a new trader and this is like your first challenge, don't try to pass it quick. Just try to pass it, right? Just trade normally. But if you have a few funded accounts, for example, it is a waste of time to spend so much time on challenges. So what I do is I want to pass them quickly. Let's see here how this is going to close now. This candle. Pretty bearish. Pretty bearish. Let's see, I'm just marking out a couple zones here that could potentially be interesting. So we have the potential for a sell here, right? But I don't necessarily like it because the higher time frame is more bullish in my opinion. So this is sort of the type of trade that I would take on a secondary account or with a half risk on my main account or accounts. So let's wait and see what happens here. If there's any questions, by the way, you can put them in the chat. Today's PA, yeah, no one knows where it's going. Yeah, I mean that's kind of the PA on any day. No one knows where it's going. You can't know where price is going, right? You literally can't. Because here's the deal. The market is always going to be random in some sense. There's always going to be some randomness in it. The market could dump by 200 points right now because of some sort of news event that happens, right? There is no one algorithm that controls the market, and anyone who tells you differently is fucking stupid, right? I just had to put that out there. So believe what you want, but there is a randomness to the market. No one can predict it. All we can do is react to it. Let's see here. More bearishness. But by now, news are in like 12 minutes. So we'll wait. We'll wait for those 12 minutes, guys. We'll just wait and see what happens. See what happens when the news come out and at what point in the market we are at that point, right? If we want to continue bearish or if we want to turn bullish again on the 15-minute, right? Because we can see we do have like London lows, Asia lows for sells that we could target. But in general, I'm just feeling more bullish. I'm just like, I would just prefer taking a bullish trade here, right? Now, what the reason for that is, it's just experience, right? It's just experience, discretion, right? Why I would prefer something bullish today. That doesn't mean it has to happen. Price could dump for the rest of the session, for all I know, you know. But let's wait and see. Yeah, you're saying it in the chat as well. The 50-minute is really bearish, but at the same time, it's reacting from our 1 FEG. Yeah, it is, and it's also building 4-hour bullish order flow. You can see here, and yeah, on the 1 hour FEG here bullish, right? So the timeframes are not really aligned, and in a case like that, I always want to be careful, right? So let's see what happens. 10 minutes until news. Let's wait. So we can see we're at the 5-minute FEG here. If we do continue lower here, a sell could take place, right? For that to happen, I would want like a candle close below here, you know, and then something like this could definitely play out. Could definitely play out. That being said, if something like this does play out, half risk for me. Half risk for me because it's not super amazing. Okay, and it looks like price is continuing lower here currently. Okay. We're going to take that. take that trade here. Let's see about this. Like I said, guys, lower your risk on this, or just take it on a secondary account like me. Because this is not necessarily a high probability setup. Okay, let's take a look at this here. Nice reaction right here. Let's wait and see news in 5 minutes. By that time, I would preferably like to be out of the trade, right? Yep, news are coming up very soon. So, you know, manage your risk accordingly, guys. Only a few minutes until news. Three more minutes until news. Essentially 2 more minutes now. So manage your risk, guys. I'm going to manage my risk as well. Okay, news gonna hit very soon. Like I said, guys, manage your risk accordingly. News is gonna hit in 30 seconds. So make sure you've managed your risk. Very, very important. News is gonna come out now. So expect some volatility here. Some potentially crazy moves, right? So far, very unsure. Price is very unsure where it wants to go here. Okay. Hope you guys managed your risk. I hope you all did, because, yeah, like I said, news, right? No one knows what's going to happen, essentially. We're probably going to take a break even right here, because if our SL gets hit, yes, we took some profits on the partials, right? Which will then turn this trade into break even. On my broker, it hasn't hit the SL yet. Not sure why it has on the trading view, but this is how it looks like for me right now. Like I said, we took some partials, of course, here before news hit, right? And I hope you guys all managed your risk as well. Okay, we're out. We're out for break even now. That's perfectly fine. Like I said, it was a riskier trade, which is why we managed it aggressively, of course. Took some good partials, managed our risk accordingly. So we'll leave that for now. Anyone was able to make a profit with this trade by closing it before news hit? Maybe someone closed before the news hit and was actually able to profit off this. I wasn't. I took a break even. Because as you all know, I'm a big fan of taking partials at 1 hour. Now let's see here. 15-minute. If the 15-minute can turn bearish, can turn bullish again, that would kind of be my preferred scenario for anything here, because then we can take buys, right? So let's wait and see. Let's see here what happens if we simply continue up. You could take a buy here, right on the closure here. You could take a buy. It is a higher risk one though, because there's not much confirmation yet. So be careful about this. Be incredibly careful about this. Just saying, you could if you wanted to take the risk. I'm waiting a little bit longer because I want this candle to close. I want this candle to close here. Let's see how the 500 is going to close. Because if it closes like this, potentially we can get a retracement lower. before we go higher, but like I said, for me, the 15-minute is going to be kind of the deciding factor here. So what's happening here now? We can see, okay, the 5-minute close like this. The next 5-minute candle is starting out rather bullish. Interesting. The 15-minute, if we can get a very bullish close on the 15-minute, like a close above here, that would be really nice for buys, of course. I mean, also now, guys, the new 4-hour candle has started, right? So we can say this is the 4-hour candle. Let's see if the 5-minute wants to retrace into this 5-minute FEG, right? Okay, it seems to want to do that, yes. So heavy bearish S&T here. Heavy bearish S&T. Interesting. If we continue this bearish now, I'm gonna leave the session. Like, I mean, this is interesting. This is very interesting. So yeah, price is in an interesting position here. But we are technically still bearish, right? On the 15 minutes. On the 5 minute, we've inverted this, right? 5 minute inversion here. Let's wait and see. Okay, so price continuing up from here. Interesting, right? Interesting. Like I told you guys, I want to see the 15-minute close bullish. That being said, I do need to leave now. The only trade I would take today is I'm gonna draw this for you guys so you can't miss it if it does happen. 15-minute closes above here, right? 15-minute retraces. 15-minute goes towards PDH. This trade I would take today. We're at break even for today so far, so it doesn't really, not bad, not good, just very neutral. So yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow again, right? For New York session. And yeah, bye bye. See you all.